since the draft is officially concluded in Green Bay, we have finally reached the barren wastes of the NFL offseason. We all got so caught up in headlines and the squirming taking place between Mel Kiper and his lusted quarterback.
The only thing wrong with him is that he's completely unlikable and his teammates absolutely hate him. One of his teammates was his brother, but there are tons of people that have no talent and still get paid a lot of money. I mean, look at me.
Yet those that were paying attention knew it was coming when the Ravens drafted a specific position on day 3.
With the 186th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Tyler Loop, kicker from Arizona.
Now, this wasn't an addition for the sake of competition. It's Baltimore escaping a trap, mostly after news broke in January of Justin Tucker's misdeeds about a decade ago. Considering he was fresh off the worst season of his professional career, it made it a no-brainer. For those living under a rock, the Baltimore Banner published an article including first-hand accounts from 6 local masseuses speaking of their interactions with Tucker. In summary, Mr. Tucker was, shall we say, a bit of a pervert, on many occasions purposely brushing his manhood on those massaging him, and even finishing on the massage table on one occasion among many other stated incidents. The article's linked further below if you wish to look further into specifics. The 6 women went on to tell of experiences so vulgar that 2 of their spas had apparently banned Tucker permanently for his actions. Justin denied any misconduct took place, but since then 6 more women have come forward detailing similar accusations. When there's smoke, there's fire. And in a second statement, Justin again denied any wrongdoing, but slipped an open letter at the end, stating he did apologize to anyone I have worked with that felt Tucker didn't treat them professionally or as a person. Total lawyer speak, I know. It sounds painfully familiar. Just a few years prior, Deshaun Watson, after publicly requesting a trade out of Houston, was met with a battery of civil suits detailing almost identical accusations to the ones made against Tucker. Except instead of having his job challenged, he was traded to Cleveland for 3 first-round picks. The grave punishment for his actions would be an 11-game suspension and $230 million guaranteed. The NFL did run an investigation into Deshaun's actions, and they've stated that they're keeping a close eye on the developments in the Tucker situation as well. However, there's one major difference between the two. Alleged trajectory. Watson, even after being outed as an alleged sex pest and not playing in over a year, still was a Pro Bowl QB with a proven track record of franchise-caliber play. And Cleveland decided to bring this fine adult into their quarterback room, which would in no way be regrettable to them down the road. Before the article, Justin Tucker did everything he could to paint himself as a loving family man, a wholesome father, a player always involved in the community, and with a voice that could soothe the most restless of babes. But over the past 2 years, especially the 2024 campaign, his skill level fell off a cliff. It wasn't simply misses over 50 yards anymore. He was actively costing the Ravens games. Once automatic chip shots produced a harmony of groans and wide kicks. But would they bench him? Fuck no. Before the year, Justin was the most accurate kicker in the history of the NFL, holding the record for longest field goal in league history and destined for a bronze-busting Kenton. Harbaugh would shoot the idea down at press conference after press conference. But the misses kept piling up, forcing changes in offensive philosophy on distances that were once automatic for Tucker. Best example here's Jeff Reed. Remember him? Total piece of shit who had been arrested numerous times as a Steeler? He could punch as many Sheets towel dispensers as he pleases. He'd have a job in the NFL. Until he couldn't kick a football anymore. That day's come for Tucker. The once golden leg of his has been Tanya Harding. And suddenly this baggage makes him a lot more disposable. And it finally happened on Cinco de Mayo. The tequila shot was his release papers.
We have breaking news out of the NFL where the Ravens have released kicker Justin Tucker. The news comes just a few months after he was accused of sexual misconduct at multiple Baltimore area spas.
And Baltimore released a statement that pretty much confirmed everything without saying it. Don't believe me? Just before they looked to replace the problem child at place kicker, the Ravens spent this year's second-round pick on Marshall edge rusher Mike Green, an almost superhuman talent in college. Albeit with a history that at its most generous should raise an eyebrow. After being dismissed from the University of Virginia's football roster, Mike fessed up at the NFL Combine that there wasn't just one accusation of sexual assault. There was a second accusation that hit the tower. Him whispering in the Ravens' ear and all. Who better to point out this double standard than the publisher of the original Tucker allegations? Just after Green was drafted, the Baltimore Banner released an article detailing an exchange in 2022 between head coach John Harbaugh and a member of the press, following the Browns acquiring Watson. John stated the team has a zero-tolerance policy. He even cited the rules and guidelines put into place in their locker room following Ray Rice's videotaped domestic abuse of his wife, shown as an example that kind of character wouldn't be tolerated in their building. You can kind of see the hypocrisy in this statement in light of using a second-rounder on Green. Especially because when he was trying to do damage control after the pick, Harbaugh would backpedal his comments made like he was Marlon Humphrey defending Jamar Chase, now stating that there is no zero-tolerance policy on Ba Sing Se, and that they deal with and consider each situation individually. Don't get me wrong, the NFL and sports as a whole are full of nefarious beings that brands and teams are willing to look past due to their superhuman abilities on the field of play. But the moment that talent begins to slip, where there isn't much of it to begin with, teams are more than happy to show their problem children out the door. This isn't an opportunity to shit on the Ravens specifically, although I do enjoy that this is a league-wide trend, especially when the Shield tries to limit celebrations and taunting for the sake of children watching.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
What kind of an example are we setting?
Ladies, please. All our founding fathers, astronauts, and World Series heroes have been either drunk or on cocaine.
Tyreek Hill, numerous accusations of domestic abuse despite no charges being filed. It's a headache, but Tyreek's really fucking good at playing football. He'll stay put in the league. Antonio Brown was a cancerous asshole and sexual deviant, but it never stopped the Steelers, Raiders, Patriots, and Buccaneers gambling with his bullshit in hopes that it would land a Lombardi. Hell, the Steelers brought back Cam Sutton this past year after playing GTA IRL out of a job in Detroit, even knowing he'd be suspended for half the season. You think Big Ben would have survived those rape allegations if he couldn't throw a football? If you do, I've got some beachfront property on the Allegheny to sell you. The likes of Greg Hardy and Alden Smith kept getting work despite repeated run-ins with the law until they were cooked. Watson, Sutton, Tucker, Rice, Josh Brown of the Giants, it doesn't matter. The league can only have its cake and eat it too for so long. You can't grandstand when a division rival brings a less than reputable character on their squad, and conveniently pivot hard when you find it competitively advantageous to do the same. I know damn well I'm not the right person to pitch this sort of argument. You can argue I'm a massive hypocrite and you're probably right. But that doesn't mean that there shouldn't be one. Because how low can you go until it's deemed enough? If Henry Ruggs were to be released from jail today, if he had the ability to play at the level he was at in 2021...
This is Henry Ruggs right here. Huh? This is Henry Ruggs right here, bro. He went for the right. Relax, calm down.
You know there would be teams calling. You'll have a job in the NFL, as long as you can perform. Once you're more trouble than you're worth, get the hell out. Get ready to learn NFLPA pension, Mr. Tucker.
You guys know this guy. Let's talk to us a little bit, J Tuck.
I mean, what do you want to know? What are we doing on the plane ride back home? I heard Lamar's leading us in high knees. Ravens flock, let's fly.
Oh my God, bro.